Sean McVay could make his offense work with a lot of different quarterbacks. Jared Goff is their guy. McVay inherited Goff, but they've paid Goff and made him a franchise quarterback. Let's listen to this question and answer from the aftermath of Sunday's loss to the 49ers. And it was on Sunday that McVay called out Goff for not taking good enough care of the football. He had 3 turnovers. Here's McVay on Monday, the question and answer. Let's listen and we'll react on the other side.
When Jared's having a tough time like he had in Miami, like he had yesterday, at any point during those games, do you consider putting him on the bench, if not for a series or the rest of the game?
You know, if I thought it was going to be the best thing to just take a deep breath and step away, then I'd say, maybe, but not in either of those situations, because both of those reflected, kind of having an opportunity where there was enough plays made to get back in it. The Dolphins game may be a little bit different, but I thought it was important to be able to play through some of those things, learn from it, especially just based on some of the things that they were activating defensively.
There was a lot more to that, where he got into details about how the game against the 49ers, it was 17-3, but then this happens. The next thing you know, we're leading the game. So Goff's mistakes weren't fatal to the point where you had to get him off the field. And their backup is John Wolford. Don't ask me where he went to college. Don't ask me how they got him. I assume he was undrafted. If he was drafted late in the process. It's not a name that jumps off the page. So you have to consider benching possibilities in light of who the replacement would be. But, Chris, I was struck by that response because if you have a short list franchise quarterback and you get asked that question, what's your response?
He's our
What's
quarterback.
What's the right response?
Well,
what the hell are you – like,
right.
What are you talking – no, and you don't have to be a Bill Belichick-type jerk about it and roll your eyes and say we're on to Cincinnati like he did when he got a similar question about Tom Brady 6 years ago. But if this is clearly, unequivocally, unconditionally your guy, that's a question that has a much shorter answer. The answer is no, he's our quarterback. We don't remove our franchise quarterback from the game for a backup that most people have never even heard of.
Yeah. No, I mean, agreed. I was surprised to originally read the long answer to that question, too. I think that Sean McVay, first off, hey, he's great. I mean, he's honest, and he talks to people and gives us real answers. And I really respect that about him. It's not coach speak and bullcrap. And, yeah, I think – again, I don't think his support for Jared Goff is publicly going to waver. I think he got a little in too deep of, I think he's trying to tell you, yeah, I recognize it's not good from Jared Goff, but here's the reasons I wouldn't have done it in these 2 games or why I wouldn't have benched it. So I think he's kind of acknowledging, like, yeah, it's not been good. I'm not happy about it, but here's the reasons I wouldn't bench him because Miami was doing this type of stuff and, last week, blah, 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 blah. Either way, the fact of the matter is, come on. I mean, we know the real thing here. They were stupid to pay Jared Goff that much money. Jared Goff is a good football player. You can obviously win. But, I mean, how many times do we have to say it? When the game gets put on his shoulders, it's underwhelming. If they can't run and speed sweeps and play action pass and bootlegs, Jared Goff is not going to beat you throwing the ball, dissecting your defense, surgically destroying you with accurate passes, escaping the pocket and making plays. And, McVay understands that. That's fine. I think he knows what Goff is, but he's just saying, okay, if this is what you are, then take care of the freaking football. You can't just throw a ball into Richard Sherman's, chest into no man's land. You got to have feel for the pocket. Hey, this is the 49ers. They got a good front 4. You can't just stand there and get waylaid when people are around you and throw a pick 6 that way. And then it's 7-3 and we're driving for a field goal or a score before the half. You can't scramble for 3 yards and fumble the freaking football. And I think that's what he's saying. Like, hey, I like it easy for you. I know what you are. The one thing I need from you is to take care of the football. And that's all I'm asking. He knows he's not going to be on Mahomes or Deshaun Watson or whatever. And I think that's where that long answer probably came from there.
Well, and let me just say this before we go to break. I remember 2 years ago when I was making the argument that Jared Goff should be the first guy in this new age of quarterbacks where you can find them in the draft if
Yeah.
you need to. And if you're a great coach, you can find a guy who can run your system. That someone needs to say to one of these guys, and this is one of your pet peeves, this progression of quarterback hangs around, quarterback does well enough, quarterback gets gigantic contract that makes him one of the highest paid players in league history because he's a quarterback.
Yeah.
And we're going to pay him all this money because that's who we have and we're going to make him our guy. Sometimes it blows up in your face.
Right.
And we're seeing it happen with the Eagles and Carson Wentz. And it could happen still with the Rams and Jared Goff. Guys taken 1 and 2, Goff and Wentz respectively in the 2016 draft.
Right. Well, we're in this old school thought, I think, and I think it's about to change of this era of like you're talking about. We got our franchise guy. We're never going to change, do any of that. Why? First off, how many teams do we have to see have rookie quarterbacks be successful because their teams are on rookie contracts? Like the old age adage of, we got to let our young quarterback develop on the sidelines for 7 years before we can play him. He doesn't know how to snap. No, these guys are ready. I mean, everybody's ready. I mean, look at all of them. Every year, that's done. You can win and go to the playoffs with a rookie quarterback. Definitely a second-year quarterback. So I don't know why teams get married, in that way either. I really don't. And, of course, the salary implications and everything like that. But, yeah, I hear you, Mike. I think that point's very real.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.